Thank you, Al. Good morning, everybody. Aloha kakahiaka to you as well. All right, so there we go. It works better if I have my contacts on rather than my glasses, but this works as well too. So this month, what we're talking about here at Riverside Community Center for Spiritual Living is we're talking about getting focused, right? Getting focused is the theme that we've chosen for the month, and we have a new focus statement, and it's now up here. There it is. The new focus statement. Ta-da! There we go. All right, so let's say this together. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Let's try that again. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. So what are we talking about today? Love, the transformative power of love. So there we go. No, that's not going to work. That's going to hurt my head. So thank you for Sonia for bringing those to me last week. She graduated from ministerial school last week. You met Sonia a couple weeks ago, so yay to Sonia. And this was a gift from her to me. So there we are. So we'll just keep that. You know what? Let's put it down here. Because what does this tree represent? Us, our community, right? And so we'll put the glasses of love there at the base of our community because love is the foundation of this community because as we know, love lives here. So today, we are talking about the transformative power of love. Sound good? Yes. All right. That's good. I'm glad you're in agreement with me on that one. So the focus statement, we embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. The transformative power of love is what we're talking about. And this focus statement you can find in Johnson Hall. So right after service, I want you to, get your hug first, and then run over to Johnson Hall and participate in creating the artwork that we're doing with the focus statement. Dinah will be in there helping to guide you in participating in that. We have individual letters with this focus statement, and so then we're going to create a larger piece of art that's then going to hang on the wall over here. Won't that be nice? And so it's our community that's creating this piece of work, this piece of art that we will have. And there's more excitement today that we will be sharing with you about the transformative power of love of this community at the quarterly meeting right after, at 12:30, I believe is what we decided, at 12:30 in Johnson Hall. So I want to invite you to make sure you stay for that because there's lots of good stuff to share with you. And I don't want to share it here now because we got other things to talk about, but we've got some great things to share with you at 12:30. So plan on being there for that as well, okay? All right, awesome. I love my people. You guys are so awesome. So there is one power, right? As Al was singing about, one power in the universe. Doesn't really matter what you call it, because it doesn't care what you call it. But what we tend to call it is we call it God, but we also mean what it really is that it's love. Love is the only power. God is the only power. God and love are synonymous. That's the one power, the one presence, love. Michael Beckwith calls it love intelligence, and it is this love intelligence that brought forth all of creation, all of life, through itself, of itself, and as itself. And so it is constantly ever expanding and always expressing as its true nature. And its true nature is love, right? So what we know is that love truly is all that there is. And this love is the order of the universe. So the universe is for you. It's never against you. Sometimes it might feel like it's against, but it's not. The universe is always for you because it is always love that is continuing to unfold, continuing to expand, continuing to express love, because love is all there is. If we know that God is all there is and God and love are synonymous, then love has to be all there is, regardless of what other appearances may be expressing or experiencing in this moment. Because there are some beloveds with some, and this is some of y'all's favorite phrase that I use, unskilled behavior operating in our world right now, right? But I know that that unskilled behavior is not in this room, right? What is in this room is love. That is who we are called to be. That is what we are called to express. That is truly all that we are. And so we are born of love. We are made of love. Love is what we are, and love is how we are here to express. In the New Testament, it says, love is of God. Those who love are born of God and know God. Those who do not love do not know God, because God is love. Ernest Holmes said it another way. Love is the great transforming power which brings everything into harmony. It is the unifying principle. It is the creative element. It is the motivating power of all that is fine and noble in life. And so the master teacher taught two great commandments. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, all thy soul, all thy mind, and all thy strength. And love thy neighbor as thyself. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Well, who's your neighbor? Everybody, right? So, Jesus, the master teacher, said, love everyone. There are no exceptions to that, right? So, love your neighbor, not just your neighbor that looks like you, right? Not just your neighbor who's sitting in this room, right? Love your neighbor as yourself. That means love everyone. So it's not just the straight white man that we get to love. Okay? That's not, I mean, he's our neighbor too, okay? But he's not our only neighbor, right? Love your neighbor means love your African American sisters and brothers. Love your Asian sisters and brothers. Love your Latinx sisters and brothers. Love your LGBTQ sister and brothers. What's that? Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer brothers and sisters. LGBTQ. Okay? Spelling it out. Love our immigrant sisters and brothers. Love our non-documented workers, citizens and brothers. Love our children. Love our incarcerated. Love everyone. Love does not stop with people who look and think like we do. That means we get to love our Republican sisters and brothers, and we get to love our Democratic sisters and brothers, and our Green Party, and our Libertarians, and everybody on the spectrum. It doesn't mean we get to love only one group and not another. Loving everybody means everybody. Are you in agreement with that? Yes. Thought so. Remember that we are all siblings. We are all the beloved made manifest. We are all the divine, living, moving, breathing, and having its life through and as each one of us. Ricky Byers-Beckwith's song, God needs us to shine its light in Use Me, right? God needs us to shine its light. It is forever shining its light and its love, but it has to do that through us. And we have to be available and open and willing and allowing that to happen. We don't get to close off and shut ourselves down. Closing off and shutting ourselves down is how we got into the predicament that we find ourselves in usually. We forget who and whose we are. We forget that we are love. We become ignorant that we are love. We become ignorant, or we are ignorant to the fact that we are all one, that we are all siblings walking this planet. And by siblings, I don't just mean humankind, but our four-leggeds and our six-leggeds and our winged and our trees and our plants. That truly we are all one in life, all one in creation, all one in love. And so when we encounter people who are displaying unskilled behavior, what we are encountering is we are encountering ignorance. This beloved has forgotten who they are. And who they are is love. And we have the opportunity to remember that for them and about them. We have the opportunity to remember that for and about ourselves. That love is truly who we are. Love is what we are here to express. And sometimes what this requires of us is, as also in the song there says, forgiveness. Breathe that in. I know forgiveness is a big word. It's like, ooh, trigger, forgiveness. Wait, I gotta forgive? No, they did something wrong to me. I don't need, But you see, forgiveness is not about the other person. It's not about what they did or what you think they did or what they said or anything like that. It's not about them. Forgiveness isn't saying, oh, it's okay, honey. Don't worry about it. It's not about that at all. Forgiveness is our own freedom. We don't forgive to forgive somebody else. We forgive to grant ourselves freedom. Because forgiveness, if you look at it, it's not really like trying to forgive and forget and bygones be bygones, and now we all get to sit down, we all get to have dinner together, right? Forgiveness is acknowledging what happened, but no longer allowing it, the event, or the person to continue to influence and control and run your life. It's about stepping up and freeing ourselves. So when we look at forgiveness, Nadia Bolz-Weber, an evangelical Lutheran pastor in Denver, maybe you have seen her on YouTube or on Facebook. She's this, I love it because she's this kind of irreverent, reverend. I love her, right? And so what she says about forgiveness is, well, I'm just going to tell you. She says, forgiveness is badass. This is the kind of woman, I love this woman, right? Because what it does is forgiveness is saying, you know, what happened there is so not okay that I am not even going to continue to connect myself with it. That is forgiveness. I'm no longer going to connect myself with it. I'm not giving it any power. I'm not giving it any more thought. I am disconnecting from that. That is forgiveness. That is freedom. And when we are free to love. We are free to be. We are free to be more complete. And so in that freedom, then we can love another as our neighbor. We can love another as ourselves, but it doesn't mean we have to have dinner with them. But what we need to remember, though, is that truly who they are and is love. How they acted, their unskilled behavior comes out of ignorance. Breathe that in. And the love your neighbor as yourself part, yourself. Are we loving ourselves? Because guess where it all starts? It all starts right here, right? God calling. okay. It all starts right where we are, right? It starts with ourselves. If we don't, as RuPaul says, honey, if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? And can I get an amen up in here? Amen. There you go. Love Drag Race. Love RuPaul. Love Mama Ru. Right? But it's so true. If you don't love yourself, how are you going to love somebody else? Right? So the love piece has to start right here. And who are you? I told you this back in October when I came to visit. You are the beloved in whom I am well pleased. You are the beloved in whom I am well pleased. You are love. That is the essence of who you are. And when we wake up to that, when we realize that, wait a minute, who I am is love. I stand in the mirror and I look myself in the eyes. I say, you are love. I love you. I love you. I love you. And if you really want to take this practice to the next level, instead of just staring into your eyes, stand in front of the mirror naked. Everybody went, oh no. Like, oh no. If we stand there as we were born and really take it in and love every part of ourselves. I love my hair, I love my forehead, I love my eyes, I love, all the way down to my toes. You can feel the vibration begin to shift. Because really at the root of all of your atoms and subatomic particles and your tissues and your cells, all of it, underneath all of it, what makes up all of it is what? It's love. Because love is all there is. It's all love. We just get to remember that and remind ourselves of that. And that's why we come together in community to remind each other. Because sometimes, I don't know about you, but I forget sometimes. I forget who and whose I am. Especially when I'm driving. Or in Costco. I don't know why, but those two things are always like together. Have you noticed that? You know, it's like road rage and road rage in Costco. So, but right, it's easy to forget. But we come together in community like this to be reminded, to remind each other, to call ourselves higher, to call each other higher. Constance calls me higher constantly. Right? Good on you. Thank you. You all are constantly calling me higher, constantly calling me to the higher potential, my highest possibility. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to embolden each other to live our highest potential. Through what? Through the transformative power of love. Because we know that love transforms, because it's the only power that is. So love transforms. A few weeks ago, Bishop Michael Curry, you might have seen it, he spoke at a little wedding, right? The royal wedding. And he shared with us that when love is the way, when we put love first, when we recognize who and whose we are, when we recognize that we are the power and the presence of love, that when love leads the way, life is transformed, the world is transformed. So when love is the way, when we put love first, when love is the way, and we see each other for who we truly are, homelessness does not happen. Here in Riverside, there is an initiative that is gaining ground and gaining traction called Housing First, giving our homeless community homes first. Because what we know is that if we are providing shelter first, when we provide those basic needs first, then there's a greater opportunity for people to step up and live a more full and more expansive life, to live the highest potential, when we know that we have basic needs met. This community is stepping up through something that Casey is going to share with you at the community meeting, that we have engaged in, or we are engaging in something called Care Portal. That when families in crisis are visited by a social worker, the social worker puts them into the database, and then it's sent out to the local churches and centers. And we've signed up to be part of this so that we may help people in our own community through the power of love. That is, love leading the way. We lead with love. And when love is the way, then children don't go hungry. When love leads the way, children cannot be separated from their families in detention centers. When love leads the way. When love leads the way, there is peace, there is joy, there is harmony, both in our local lives and our individual lives and the world. When love is the way, school shootings don't happen. When love is the way, war in the Middle East does not happen. When love leads the way, we do not pontificate and pump ourselves up, trying to make ourselves better than, because we know that we are all equal. When love leads the way, equity, not just equality, but equity happens. You know what equity is? Equality is, we've got 3 kids, this high, and this high, all looking at a fence. Equality is each one gets a box. That's equality. Each one has a box. Equity is the tall kid looking over the fence gives his box to the little kid over here, so there's 2, so now all 3 of them can see over the fence. That's equity. Equity happens. The earth is a sanctuary. People are our sisters and brothers when love is the way. Think about that. Imagine your own life. Imagine the transformation that happens in your own life when you remember that love is the way. When you remember that there is only love. Think about that. Imagine it. Centers for Spiritual Living has the vision of a world that works for everyone in all of creation. The only way that's possible is through the transformative power of love. And so we as a community come together as the presence of love. We live from this place of love. We serve from this place of love. We recognize each other as the who and the what, which is love. And we take this and we move out beyond these walls and we embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Because what I know is that each person in here knows what the power of love feels like. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in here. You know that power. You know that presence. You've experienced it yourself. You've been on the receiving end of it, and you've been on the giving end of it. So what I invite us all to do is to give more, to share more, to be the presence of love more, to awaken our neighbors, to awaken our brothers and sisters who have fallen asleep. This month is Pride Month, so come out. Come out as a spiritual being. There's no need to hide it. Wear your pride. Come out as a spiritual being. Let people know where you go to the center on Sunday. Let people know that this place is a place of love. Let people know that this place is a place of transformation. Let people know that this place and this community is there to love and support and to uplift and to rise. Let people know. Come out. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You're the power and presence of love. That's who and what you are. That's who and what we've been called to be. So who are you? Who are you? There you go. Presence and power of love, great. Or, let's shortcut it to love. All right. So, Dr. King said it this way. We must discover the power of love, the redemptive power of love. And when we do that, we will make of this whole world a new world. But love is the only way. Love. I see you, I hear you, and I hold your intention with love. And so it is. So I invite our practitioners and our core council to please surround the sanctuary. These beloveds hold this community in love. Every day, they are in prayer for this community, knowing the truth of this community, that this community is founded in love, that is based in love, that this community truly is the power and presence and place of love. So I invite you to come together in consciousness, and if you will, go ahead and close your eyes. And so what I know is that there's only one power, one presence, one infinite eternal beingness. This one I call God, but in this day I call it love, because truly love is all there is. In the beginning, love. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with love, and the Word was love itself, and it brought forth all of creation. Therefore, that which love did not create was never ever created. Therefore, I know that all of creation, all of life is love made manifest. And I know that that is the who of who I am, and that is the who of who each one in this room is. For truly each one is the presence of love, love made manifest, love incarnate. And so I speak a word here and now, recognizing that it is this love that we bring forth as a community. It is this love that we share beyond these walls. It is this love that we radiate from the very core of our being, and it is this love that we remember is the truth of our being. It is the who of who we are. We are made in the image and likeness of love, that is all that there is, and so that is all that we could ever be. And I recognize that when we forget, that we come back together in community to remember, that we call each other higher, that we call each other into our highest potential, and that highest potential is the full, glorious, free expression of love in all its many forms. It is this agape love, it is this unconditional love that knows no thing else. And there's great freedom and great power in this. And this freedom, this power, this love is active and present in our lives. Always and in all ways. There is nothing that can stand opposed to it, nothing that can stand in its way, for love conquers all fear. Love dissolves any idea of other. For truly there is only one, and that is love. And I give thanks for this knowing. I give thanks for this embodiment of love that each one is. And I release this word into the law, knowing that it is done, knowing that it is so, knowing that it could be no other way, because truly love is all there is. And together we affirm this by saying, and so it is.